In this week's episode of Eddie on the Go, Inside Lisbon Tours takes us to Pena Palace and Park in Sintra, the Sintra City Center, Cabo da Roca, and the seaside town of Cascais. My name is Eddie. Join me as I explore the sights, sounds, flavors, and other attractions of my chosen travel destinations. I'll take you to the places I go, introducing you to people as well as the local cuisine and culture, and some history. This is Eddie on the Go.
To the village of Sintra Historic. I give you free time to lunch and then to Cascais. All right.
Palacio de Pena, or Pena Palace, is a romanticist castle in São Pedro de Penaferrim, in the Sintra municipality on the Portuguese Riviera. The castle stands atop a hill in the Sintra Mountains above the town of Sintra, and on a clear day, as it was on our visit, it can be seen easily from Lisbon and much of its metropolitan area. The palace is a national monument and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the 7 wonders of Portugal. On special occasions of the state, it is used by the President of the Republic and other government officials. The castle's history began in the Middle Ages, when a chapel dedicated to Our Lady of Pena was built on the top of the hill above Sintra. According to tradition, construction occurred after an apparition of the Virgin Mary. In 1493, King John II and Queen Leonor made a pilgrimage to the site to fulfill a vow. His successor, King Manuel I, was also very fond of this sanctuary and ordered the construction of a monastery on the site, which was donated to the Order of St. Jerome. For centuries, Pena was a small, quiet site for meditation and housed up to 18 monks. In the 18th century, the monastery was severely damaged by lightning, but it was the Great Earthquake of 1755 that took the heaviest toll on the monastery, reducing it to rubble. The chapel, however, and its works of alabaster and marble, escaped without significant damage. For many decades, the ruins remained untouched, but they still astonished the young Prince Ferdinand. In 1838, as King Consort Ferdinand II, he decided to acquire the old monastery, all of the surrounding lands, the nearby castle of the Moors, and a few other estates in the area. King Ferdinand then set out to transfer the remains of the monastery into a palace that would serve as a summer residence for the Portuguese royal family. The commission for the Romantic-style rebuilding was given to Lieutenant General and mining engineer Wilhelm Ludwig von Eschwege. Eschwege, a German amateur architect, was much traveled and likely had knowledge of several castles along the Rhine River. The construction took place between 1842 and 1854. Although it was almost completed in 1847, King Ferdinand and Queen Maria II intervened decisively on matters of decoration and symbolism. Among others, the king suggested vault arches, medieval and Islamic elements be included, and he also designed an ornate window for the main facade. After the death of Ferdinand, the palace passed into the possession of his second wife, Elisa Hensler, Countess of Edla. The latter then sold the palace to King Louis, who wanted to retrieve it for the royal family, and thereafter the palace was frequently used by the family. In 1889, it was purchased by the Portuguese state, and after the Republican Revolution of 1910, it was classified as a national monument and transformed into a museum. The last Queen of Portugal, Queen Amelia, spent her last night at the palace before leaving the country in exile. The palace quickly drew visitors and became one of Portugal's most visited monuments. Over time, the colors of the red and yellow facades faded, and for many years the palace was visually identified as being entirely gray. By the end of the 20th century, the palace was repainted and the original colors restored. In 1995, the palace and the rest of the cultural landscape of Sintra were classified as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Cabo da Roca is a cape forming the westernmost point of the Sintra mountain range, of mainland Portugal, of continental Europe, and of the Eurasian landmass. It is situated in the municipality of Sintra, near Azoia, in the southwest of the district of Lisbon. Notably, the point includes a lighthouse that started operation in 1772. The Cabo da Roca lighthouse stands 541 feet, or 165 meters, above the sea, situated on a promontory that juts out into the ocean. Made up of granite boulders and interspersed limestone. It is what is called a third-order lighthouse. It was the first new, purpose-built lighthouse to be constructed in the country. The older lighthouses in existence at that time were constructed on existing platforms or from pre-existing beacons. Located on the Portuguese Riviera in the Lisbon district of Portugal, Cascais is a town and municipality that has over 214,000 inhabitants in an area of just under 100 square kilometers. Portugal's most chic resort, Cascais is known for its 3 stunning bays, delicious upscale restaurants, luxurious hotels, and nonpareil beaches. But it is the tranquil atmosphere of luxury and ease, along with its stunning seaside esplanade, that makes it one of Europe's most prized and important seaside tourist destinations. Its marina hosts events such as the America's Cup, and the town of Estoril, part of the Cascais municipality, hosts conferences such as the Horasis Global Meeting. Cascais' history as a popular seaside resort originated in the 1870s, when King Louis I and the Portuguese royal family made the seaside town their residence every September, thus attracting members of the Portuguese nobility, who established a summer community there. Cascais is known for the many members of royalty who have lived there, including King Edward VIII of the United Kingdom, when he was the Duke of Windsor, King Juan Carlos I of Spain, and King Umberto II of Italy. Exiled Cuban President Fulgencio Batista was also once a resident of the area. Here's a fun fact. The Casino Estoril inspired Ian Fleming's first James Bond novel, Casino Royale. The municipality of Cascais is one of the wealthiest in both Portugal and the Iberian Peninsula. It has one of the most expensive real estate markets and one of the highest cost of living in the country, and is consistently ranked highly for its quality of life. Cascais has a Mediterranean climate with mild, wet winters and warm, dry summers. Moderated by the Atlantic and the typical urban heat island of a city, temperatures in Cascais rarely get below 41 degrees Fahrenheit or above 86 degrees Fahrenheit. You can easily get to Cascais from Lisbon by car on the A5 Lisbon-Cascais highway, or alternately by taking the more scenic route, as well as by one of the frequent and inexpensive commuter trains. Taxis are also a common and inexpensive mode of transportation in the area. Local attractions include the castle ruins, an art museum, and an ocean museum, as well as parks and the charming cobbled streets of the historic center. The town has many hotels and tourist apartments, as well as many good restaurants of varying cost. It is a fine base to use for those visiting the Lisbon area who prefer to stay outside of the city, yet in an equally urban and sophisticated environment. Cascais ranks 9th in population density and 6th in percentage of population employed among Portuguese municipalities. Cascais is surrounded by popular beaches. Guincho Beach to the northwest is primarily a surfing, windsurfing, and kite surfing beach because of the prevailing winds and sea swells, while the calm waters of the beaches to the east attract sunbathers. The lush Sintra Mountains to the north are a further attraction. The shoreline to the west has cliffs, attracting tourists who come for the panoramic views of the sea and other natural sights, such as the Boca do Inferno. It is also becoming a popular golf destination, with over 10 golf courses nearby. A large 650-berth marina was opened in 1999 and has since held many sailing events. It was the official host of the 2007 ISAF Sailing World Championships for dinghies and racing yachts. The municipality also hosts international tennis and motorcycling events, and for many years hosted the FII F1 Portugal Grand Prix at the Estoril racetrack. In 2017, the municipality started charging a small tourist tax, as the city had become one of the most visited destinations in Portugal. According to 2016 estimates, it is estimated that around 1.2 million tourists stay in the city's hotels each year. Here's another fun fact. Cascais' sister city in the United States has been Sausalito since 2012. I hope that you found this video informative and or useful. Have you subscribed yet to Eddie on the Go? If not, I hope you consider doing so. Once again, thanks for watching. Eddie on the Go, out.